Number 1. Brian demonstrated an extraordinary natural skill at chess, defeating the toughest opponents without the need for any study or instruction, which led many of his supporters to label him a blank. So this sentence has a lot of information in it, but the information is actually really specific, so you want to pay close attention to the details. Here it tells us in the first portion that he has extraordinary natural skill. So it was kind of an innate talent that he knew totally naturally. So that's a big, big word to use as a prediction. Then the second clause of the sentence says that he could defeat the toughest opponents without any need for study or instruction. So he really didn't need to teach himself, he just innately knew it. He was a natural at this. So going through the answer choices, we might be inclined to pick something that would mean, that he's really smart or that he can study. But it's important to notice that it doesn't say anything about him studying, it just says that he automatically knew it, that he was a natural. So now looking at these words, we have A is pedagogue. Now that's something that comes up time and time again on the SAT, but you might not remember what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put a question mark there. Then the next word is autodidact. Now I'm guessing you haven't seen this specific word, but we do know the prefix auto, and that's a really important prefix which means self. So you might be inclined to think that that would go along with what we're looking for here because he is kind of self-taught, but remember that he didn't have to teach himself, he just knew it. So we can sort of put a question mark there because we might not be sure what didact means. Then C is oracle, which means that we can see into the future, which has nothing to do with being natural at something. It really just means that he can predict the future. And I don't think that he's winning by predicting his opponent's moves. Then D is reliquary, which I am 100% sure that you have no idea what it means. That gets a big question mark. And then the last is savant, which some of you may know, some of you may not know. So if you do know it, then that is going to lead you in the right direction, but if not, we have a question mark. So looking at this question, if this is where you are with 4 question marks, would be a great question to omit because you really don't have the vocabulary yet to make an educated guess. However, looking at some of these words, just so you know them, pedagogue means teacher. So a lot of people actually pick pedagogue here because they're associating him with teaching, but he's not teaching, he just knows innately how to do it. So that's not going to be our answer. The next is autodidact, which means self-taught. So didact is a big word that you should know, and it means instruct. So we know from the sentence that he actually didn't teach himself anything. If he was poring over books and guides and that's how he learned how to play chess, then this would be the perfect word, but it tells us that he didn't need any sort of study or instruction. So that's out. Then reliquary is just one of those words that doesn't come up that often, but it's really just a receptacle for relics, or just really old things. So that has really no place in this question. And then the actual answer is E, which is a savant, which is someone who just automatically knows something and was never taught it. I don't know if you've seen Rain Man or if that's way beyond your years, but you should. Dustin Hoffman is great in it. And he plays a savant, and everyone thinks that he is a special needs person, but he's actually absolutely brilliant. And you'll love the movie. Tom Cruise is in it too.